Yo, are you ready for another aspect video? It's been a while. Let's talk about Venus, Sextile, and Trine, the North Node. Pew. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology, and I'm back with my aspect series. And today I'm talking about the planet Venus in a sextile or trine to the north node of the moon, right? Also known as Rahu, the north node. So let's break down what these two planetary energies are and how it can play out in your life, all right? So Venus, it's at home in Taurus and Libra, exalted in Pisces. Venus is about your love language, relationships. It's money, finances, sweets. Okay, Venus is your values, your self-worth, beauty, harmony, peace. Could be the wife for a husband or same-sex couple. And Venus is also vehicles, arts, culture, entertainment, devotion. And it's the seed of life, sperm. Venus is very, very powerful. And it's your aesthetics, right? Your fashion, how you be dripping, looking great. Well, what's the North Node? The North Node, also known as Rahu, is really an auspicious, kind of very karmic energy. It's a foreign energy. It can be recognized around the age of 30, but it doesn't mature until the ages of 42 and 48 years old. You're not supposed to move towards that North Node until that time. The North Node of the moon, right? It's your purpose, mission, destiny. It's obsession. It's the dragon's head. It keeps eating and eating and eating and consuming, right? It's an energy that you have to learn to integrate into your life because it's not something that you're familiar with, but you have to move slowly. You can OD on it and it can wind up backfiring on you, okay? The North Node is this karmic point that can indicate great change. Right? We see, in these eclipses, the North Node could bring in death or, changes in regimes or leaders. All right. So let's talk about that North Node and the Venus in the sextile. So Venus sextile, it's like a Venus energy. It's 60 degrees and it's about a 3 to 5 degree orb. So I'd say 0 to 5. I like it to be closer, but when you're dealing with this Venus sextile North Node energy, it's like tapping. It's like, hey, pay attention to me. They're both, pretty much harmonious. They're going to be beneficial energies. But the sextile, it's definitely something that you're going to be aware of. Like, oh, okay. So over time, when I devote myself to this, it can kind of manifest in my reality, right? Venus sextile, let's say it's the first to the third house, okay? Now, obviously, the North Node can do really well, right? When it's, in, these positive aspects. But it's something that early on, you can get lazy with it. You may not integrate it properly. It has to really mature and develop over time. So from that first to third house, it could be how your Venus in the first and your North Node in the third, how over time you develop these skills of sales and advertising. Eventually you become this influencer over social media. You may, get to be a fashion designer, interior designer, decorator, a model. You may work in detailing cars or an auto mechanic, okay? Venus sextile North Node, after the age of 30, you're going to start to see how this placement in your birth chart gets better. But you have to take action. With sextiles and trines, you've got to step in and initiate as well. You can't just sit back, Netflix and chilling it and think that everything's going to happen to the, desires of your heart. That's not how it works. So one thing about the sextile, right, they're going to share They'll both be either feminine or they'll both be masculine. Okay? So Cancer, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, Aries, Gemini, right? Leo, Libra, to give you an example. All right? So they'll have different modalities, but they will, be either earth, water, or fire, air for the sextile. And this can allow you that once you're willing to kind of initiate things, that you can do well, right? Implementing, things that you desire, relationships, okay? This can help you with being a fashion model, an architect, a designer, someone that, does well with the creative fields. Maybe you're an actor or an actress, a singer, an artist, a sculptor, a painter, a poet. But that North Node will bring you that support. And whatever the sign is on the North Node, these people, when they come in your life, take note that you're doing well, right? You could have that Pisces North Node, and it's a Pisces Sun Moon rising that is helping you in a relationship or helping you kind of become more devoted to, esoteric occult knowledge. Venus Sextile North Node, it will get better over time, but you definitely have to value what you're creating, right? Be optimistic and positive and not be the lazy, spoiled, fat cat. And also integrate harmony and beauty and peace into your destiny and where you're headed towards. So that will really help you along the way. Comment down below with the sextile, right? 60-degree angle, and no more than a 3 to 5 degree orb. So if your Venus is at 10 degrees, right, in Aries, your North Node in Gemini should be no more than 15 degrees, to give you a literal example, okay? But if it's masculine energy, air and fire, you have to initiate to take action. If it's earth and water, like Cancer to Virgo, you gotta kind of feel in the flow. And don't be overly introspective and analyzing, but trust your intuition and feelings that you're walking on that destined path. Now, Venus trine the North Node. Well, still the same definitions for Venus and the North Node, but when you're in the trine, let's say you have Venus in the first house and the North Node in the fifth or the ninth, right? Remember, that's the trine energy, 120 degrees, the easy flow of energy. Sort of like a Jupiter, very abundant, benefic energy, but definitely you can get extremely lazy and complacent. This could have you, kind of chilling at home. You have it in the fourth to the eighth house, and you're overindulging and overeating and, becoming this fat cat, but it also can really have you in the flow spiritually to manifest the wife of your dreams, the love life, the car that you desire. In the first to the fifth house, I've seen it where North Node in the fifth house, a lot of astrologers can have that placement, okay? And just know that when you are willing to, Venus first, North Node fifth, for an example, create from your heart chakra or do the sign and the fifth house, like do these creative endeavors with your children, there can be financial gifts and blessings. Venus trine the North Node will help you acting, singing, rhyming, even as a very talented writer, especially if this was Venus in the 12th house and the North Node in the fourth, you can write your book in your home. And it can be really something powerful, a fantasy novel, spiritual sci-fi, an astrology book. Maybe you're writing about relationships, a romantic comedy. One thing that you have to remember about Venus, it is what you're going to be devoted to, but what brings beauty, what makes you feel pleasure. And the North Node, over time, remember, this will develop, and really you'll find the groove after 42. Venus Trine North Node, once it hits its sweet spot, this can bring great opportunities in your life. The signs will flavor it, but remember, this is going to be a 120-degree angle, no more than a 5-degree orb. But what you'll notice with this trine is that it is the same element. So Aries, Leo, Sag, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? For the trine. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? And this is why you want to bring up the chart with the whole sign system for that trine energy, because the Placidus with the interceptions, Cancer can't be trining Libra, that's a square. Cancer can't trine Sagittarius, that's an in conjunction. So it's 120 degrees, the same element, water, earth, air, or fire. And Venus trine the North Node, you can marry the woman of your dreams, okay? So just be ready to integrate this energy. You definitely, with the trine, want to take action, but you also want to be in the flow. If it's a fire sign, you're initiating with the passion. You love to make art. You love to paint and sculpt. You love to, repair cars, interior design. With the water, you want to feel your way through this trine and tap in and know that, through your empathic or psychic or intuitive energy, that because you feel, therefore you know. With the air, this is about being in the flow with your thought. Right? Positive affirmations, speaking clearly, being intentional with your words, and manifesting the desires of your dreams, right? A lot of journaling. With the earth, you're going to manifest and bring things into physical reality with this Venus trine North Node, being very grounded and practical. And this can actually help you with landscaping and gardening. This can help you with bringing in the house, the car, the wardrobe of your dreams, okay? So I hope you enjoy this. I hope that these placements, you find them beneficial, but I don't want you to get caught up in thinking, oh, because I've got Venus Sextile or trine, the North Node, that life is just going to be so easy. It takes time to mature, and remember, that North Node sign, Sun, Moon, arising, or even a stellium, when they kind of appear and show up in your life, it's a sign to let you know that this is the path, this is the way to integrate the Venus into your purpose, into your divine assignment in life, into your destiny. All right? So I hope you enjoy my aspect series. Watch all my aspect videos, and I think you're going to do well with Venus Sextile trine, the North Node. Patience is a virtue, okay? And just be easy and be in the flow. Reach out, BigEAstrology.com for a birth chart reading. Also for my sales, different information, email me directly, eric@BigEAstrology.com. And if you'd like to become a tribe member, my Knowledge is Love Tribe community, it's www.community.BigEAstrology.com. We've got many different groups. There's the premium membership for $18 a month with discounts on services, exclusive content. You get both the monthly astrological coffee talks with Eric, basically saving $17 just on that alone, worth $35 per month for the 2 coffee talks, and discounts from my podcast guests, and after being in the community for a year, 50% off of a major birth chart reading. And for $5, you get the discounts from my podcast guests, and you get to be a member of either the Sister Circle for the ladies, the Man Code for the men, and I've got about 15 different groups. A lot of people in the community. It's growing every day, and it's something I just launched in June of 2025. So even if you're watching this in the future, go check it out. Become a tribe member. Go to the website, sign up for my newsletter. and let Venus Trine or Venus Sextile the North Node allow you to be devoted to your destined path and maybe even my tribe and the esoteric occult knowledge. Eric Taylor, BigE Astrology. Thank you for watching Venus Sextile Trine, the North Node in the Natal Birth Chart. Peace.